Chapter 17. Indian Democracy. Reading Objectives. Meaning of Democracy. Freedom and Democracy. Principles of Democracy. Different forms of government. Universal adult franchise in India. Elections in India. Party systems. Political parties in India. Democracy is a form of government where the people elect their representative. In a democracy, the rules are made by the people themselves through their elected representatives. India is considered as the largest democracy in the world. In a democratic country, everyone is equal before the eyes of laws. Every citizen has the right to challenge anything that is unjust. So, it is an important part of democracy that the people who are ruled should have their say in the government. Enrich yourself. Meaning of democracy. The term democracy is derived from two Greek words, demos, meaning people, and kratos, meaning rule or government. In a democracy, people have the power to choose their leaders. They can take part in the process of governance directly, or through their elected representative. According to Abraham Lincoln, the famous US president, democracy is a government of the people by the people and for the people. Freedom and democracy. Most countries of Asia and Africa, which had been colonies of European powers, like Britain and France, followed a democratic form of government after winning independence. India got independence from British in 1947 and became a democracy. But India's neighbor like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Myanmar have come under different kinds of rule. Since independence, they saw various forms of government like democracy, military dictatorship, and so on. Do you know? The universal adult franchise means that every adult citizen of a democratic country, man or woman, rich or poor, black or white, should has the right vote. Principles of democracy. Democracy stands for the following principles. People are supreme and powerful. People elect their government and can remove it from power. People vote on the basis of universal adult franchise. Equality is the basis of democracy. Every citizen is equal in the eyes of law. The government is run according to laws, most preferably in accordance with a written constitution. Different forms of government. A. Democratic system of government. In the most of the countries, the democratic system or the rule of the people exists. India is regarded as the largest democracy in the world. Democratic systems are of two types: presidential or federal system and parliamentary or unitary system. First, presidential or federal system. In this system, the president is both the nominal and the real head. There is no prime minister. The president is elected by and indirectly by the adult voters or indirectly by the representatives specially elected for presidential election. The president need not to be member of either house of the parliament or the legislature. The system can be seen in the USA and France, where it is known as the congressional system. Under this system, the president is more powerful than the legislature and it has no control over him. A constitution governs the system. Second, parliamentary or unitary system. Under this system, the president is the nominal head of the government with some executive powers. The real head of the government is the Prime Minister, who is also the head of the executive or council of ministers. The executive or the council of ministers is also called the cabinet of ministers. It is a part of the legislature or the parliament, as all of them are also the members of the parliament. In India, There are two houses of legislature, the Lok Sabha, the lower house, and the Rajya Sabha, the upper house. Members of the Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people, while, of the Rajya Sabha, some are elected indirectly and some are nominated. In the parliamentary or unitary system, the legislature has full control over the Prime Minister and the executive. This system is also governed by a constitution. B. Authoritarian system. The other non-democratic form of system is an authoritarian government. Such a government does not give value to individuals in the governance. While on the other hand, the government has limitless power, on the other hand, the people do not have any freedom or liberty. Such a system is also known as dictatorship or totalitarian government. Adolf Hitler of Germany was a dictator who practiced such system. He came into power in Germany through democratic election in 1933 and assumed all the powers of the government unto himself. He destroyed the entire system of the government and ruled like a tyrant. He hardly cared for public opinion. Mussolini in Italy too established a fascist government in 1932, which came to an end with his overthrow in 1943. C. Military dictatorship. It is another form of a non-democratic government wherein the political power resides with the military. Here, rulers give a lot of importance to nationalism. The people have no right to express opinions and are not allowed to form unions. The government has control over the media. D. Monarchy. Monarchy means a system of government run by kings. It is an ancient form of government. There are, however, two forms of monarchies that exist even today. First, absolute monarchy. Under this system of monarchy, the king has all the authority and power that he has inherited from his predecessor. This form is usually hereditary in nature. The king runs the government with the help of his council of ministers called Shura. In today's world, Saudi Arabia, Bhutan, Brunei, Oman are examples of absolute monarchy. In the Middle East, countries like Qatar and Kuwait are regarded as absolute monarchies as their rulers have great power under their constitution. Do you know, Nepal under King Gyanendra was ruled under absolute monarchy from 2002 until the monarchy of Nepal was reduced to constitutional monarchy in 2006, following the Loktantra Andolan. Second, constitutional monarchy. This system is prevalent in Britain, Spain and Japan. There is a constitution in the country which is the governing authority. The constitution fixes the powers of the monarch. Universal adult franchise in India. There was a time only men were given the right to vote. It was called manhood suffrage. In the 19th century, the demand rose for universal adult franchise. The 20th century saw real democracy coming into being when most of the democracies allowed universal adult franchise. Indian Constituent Assembly took a bold and courageous step by giving all the adult citizens the right to vote. When India adopted the universal adult franchise in 1950, the age for the voting was fixed at 25 years. But the late Rajiv Gandhi reduced the age for voting from 25 years to 18 years. Today, any Indian irrespective of sex, caste, status, religion, language or color can exercise his or her right to vote, if she attained 18 years of age. The system of universal adult franchise is based on the principle of one person, one vote. Elections in India. A unique feature of democracy is holding elections at regular intervals for choosing a government. Election is the process through which people elect their representatives who form the government. Elections are held at a periodic interval in democratic countries. In India, elections are held after every 5 years. The gap between each election differs from country to country. For the purpose of elections, the state is divided into different divisions called constituencies. Both the central legislature called the Lok Sabha and the state legislature or state legislative assemblies as chosen by elections. Searching dictionary. Federal, a union of several independent states. Election Commission. India has an autonomous election commission. The Election Commission is the body that is responsible for conducting free and fair elections in the country. It has a Chief Election Commissioner and 2 other election commissioners who are appointed by the President of India. Elections to the Lok Sabha and the state legislature are under the control and supervision of the Election Commission. The Election Commission announces the dates of the elections and makes the voters list. It also frames the code of conduct for the candidates and political parties and makes rules and regulations for the elections. The Election Commission of India introduces the Electoral Photo Identity Card (EPIC) as a reform. All the machinery needed for a free and fair election is provided by the Election Commission. All the countries do not have the same pattern or system of political parties. Party system can be divided into 3 categories. These are one-party system, two-party system and multiple-party system. One-party system. This system is also known as the single-party system. If a country is governed only by a party, where voters do not have any choice, they have to vote for the only candidate belonging to that single party. Two-party system. Some countries, like Japan and the United States of America, have a two-party system. This system is perhaps the best and most democratic. After elections, one party forms the opposition. In these countries, people have clear idea about their choice. Multiple party system. Multi-party system has more than one party to contest elections. India, Pakistan, Italy, Canada and Australia are examples of multiple party system. People have to make a choice between several candidates belonging to different parties. Sometimes, after election, no single party gets the majority to form a government. In such situation 2, 3 or even more parties get together and form a government called coalition government. Sometimes, if there is a dispute among these parties, the government can easily fall. Political parties in India. Political parties are very important for a democratic process. A political party is composed of a group of like-minded politicians. They have the same ideology and work together to achieve the goals of their party. A political party has a party program, a symbol and office. After independence, the major party that formed the government was the Indian National Congress. But after the imposition of Constitution in 1950, many parties emerged on the political scene of India. Today, we have a lot of national and regional parties. The Election Commission grants recognition to parties on the basis of the following factors. A political party must get at least 6% of the total votes polled in any 4 or more states at an election to the Lok Sabha or State Assembly. It also has to win 4 seats in the Lok Sabha from any state or states. It can get the status of a national party. It gets at least 2% of the total number of seats in the Lok Sabha. Government schemes to promote equality. There are several laws in India to protect the citizens' right to be treated equally. There are also laws to prevent the unequal treatment of persons who are in a disadvantageous position. This is to help them to gradually attain a social and economic status equal to that of the rest of the society. One of these schemes is providing the midday meal to students in the school. Word to know. The term democracy is derived from two Greek words, demos, meaning people, and kratos, meaning rule of government. In a presidential or federal system, the president is both the nominal and the real head. There is no prime minister. Under the parliamentary system, the real head of the government is the prime minister, who is also the head of the executive or council of ministers. Monarchy is a system of government run by kings. Under the absolute system of monarchy, the king has all the authority. The first and most important element of democracy is the constitution. It is a set of written rules which guide the governing of a nation. Party system can be divided into three categories: one-party system, two-party system and multiple-party system.